Tonight, we're going to be looking into 4Chan's X-Files. The X Forum, also known as X/X or the Paranormal Board, is a board on 4Chan where, obviously, paranormal interests are shared amongst man-children. Such classics as LARPs, Skinwalkers, Wendigos, how to summon big titty succubuses, conspiracy theories, and downright lunatics. But what X is mostly known for are its screen texts, where Anonymous comes out and shares their stories of what they've seen. Tonight, I have hand-selected a few stories to read to you. Whether they fright you or entertain you is up to your choice in entertainment. So sit back, relax, grab your headphones and put them in, turn off the lights, and be prepared to dive into the unknown.
I had this one experience where I was almost abducted. B18, walking to friend's house to go drink and play video games. He lives on the opposite side of the city. 45-minute walk. On my way there, I have to pass a local park. Normally pretty chill, but a few gang incidents have resulted in kidnappings and or murders. It's about 8 p.m. when I'm walking through the park, so it's dark. No one around except for 4 guys smoking at one of the benches near the soccer field. One of the guy asks,
"Want a toke?"
Tell him no, I'm not a smoker. I keep walking towards friend's house. I'm almost there. He lives 2 blocks from the underpass I was about to cross. Van comes up from behind and slows down near me. Same guys from the park. The same guy says,
"Maybe you'd like a drink instead,"
while drinking a beer. Tell him no and keep walking. They are driving slow enough to match my walking speed. I yell, "What the hell do you want?" The guy instantly changes from looking like he's high or drunk to being angry. He throws his beer at the floor and says,
Get 'em.
The door on the side of the van slides open and 2 guys get out. Instantly think, I'm screwed, what do I do? All I have to protect myself is a pocket knife. I go to grab it from the inside of my pocket of my jacket. I think, pretend it's a gun, and leave hand inside of my jacket, giving the impression that I might have a gun. 2 guys stop charging towards me. The guy that offered the drink says,
Leave 'em.
looks at me and says,
"Next time, you won't be so lucky."
They speed off. I call the police and tell them a weird van tried taking me near the park. They say they'll send out a car and scout the area for the van. They ended up catching them trying to pick up a 17-year-old girl. They find drugs, alcohol, and a camera with pictures of kids and teens they had abducted, completely nude and tied up. I was really freaked out about how close I was getting kidnapped. I don't walk at night here anymore, especially in that area.
I'll start. Be me, high school student. Listening to boring history discussion. Feeling an urge to ditch class. Excuse myself to professor cuz I need to take some rest at the infirmary. Professor agrees, probably too tired to care. Go downstairs, 4th floor. Feeling an urge to pee, I walk into the corridor leading to the restroom. Our corridor is huge, its height's probably 3 times my size. I went into one of the 3 cubicles to take a piss. Feels good, that JPEG. Suddenly, I start to hear a murmur. Can't understand due to crummy accent, but I think it was Spectare supra te. Feel chill down my spine. Now observing my surroundings. I hesitantly check the other cubicles, but no one is inside. No one is in the restroom except me. Murmur now returns to what seemed like a chant. checked behind me. Nothing was there. Can't make it out where that noise is coming from. I nope the hell out. About to return to classroom, pale as hell. Professor sees me as he exits the room, asks me what's going on. I tell him I keep hearing something, but I can't find the source of the noise in the bathroom. He stops for a second, then asks me what was the noise I heard. Spectara supra te. Became pale, suddenly walks out to meet the principal. I asked him what was wrong and he wouldn't tell me. The following day, the school invited a priest to bless the school. Focused on the bathroom where I took a piss. Principal talks to me, told me to forget what happened and not to tell anyone about it. I noticed that the restroom was renovated and turned into a faculty staff room. Remembered that day. Went to check on my old history professor, the douchebag who wouldn't tell me anything that day. Asked him what the hell happened back then. The professor told me to talk about this outside the room, because it seems the principal told everyone to keep their mouths shut about this, but it was my right to know. There was actually a story that a girl was raped in the men's restrooms almost decades ago. The culprits were never captured. The girl committed suicide days later in the same restroom by hanging herself. The school tried to forget the incident that took place. Then I remember what made my professor shudder all of a sudden. What about that noise I kept hearing that day? You mean Spectra supra te? Yeah. You really want to know? I nodded. It's Latin for look above you. My face went.
Okay, here's a story. B-15. Just got my first personal .22 rifle. All mine. Super proud. Little bolt thing. Super accurate. Loved it. Have a family friend who owns property like a 10-minute drive from our house. On this property is an old house. Built by homesteaders around 100 years ago, and it's falling apart. Right next to it is a creek and a field. We used to camp on the far side of the field all the time. Also would shoot using the creek as a burn. One day I decide I want to go camping. Bike out there with my .22, a box of ammo, and a normal camping kit. Super excited, shot like 200 rounds at cans and crap from the trash hole nearby. In the 60s, someone lived on the property in a trailer and threw the trash in this sinkhole type thing. Started getting dark, built a fire, and busted out the harmonica to practice. I was terrible at it, but it kept my mind busy whilst relaxed. Suddenly, something isn't right. I feel like I'm being watched. Your neck is raised, heart elevated. My mind starts racing, imagining things unseen out there. Clutching rifle and flashlight, scanning the field and trees for movement. Shadows playing tricks in my mind. I'm crapping bricks. Moonless night. I want to go home now. Wish I'd brought a tent to at least hide inside. But it was summer in Texas and was too hot, but I wanted that security now. Started building the fire much bigger. Made a torch of sorts with a stake and a torn up t-shirt that I had brought along with thoughts of making some sort of camouflage for my rifle. Darkness is giving up no secrets, but I can definitely hear something out there, walking around. Didn't want to shoot because sometimes cows wander onto the property. I never wanted this .jpg. Maybe coyotes? They're coming out here. But no, not in this particular area. Too many farmers and rednecks hunt them, so they'd avoid it. Jesus Christ, I think I hear breathing. It's kind of circling me, getting closer. Character limit, 1 out of 2. Pissing pants by this point, wishing I had something big bore. This was before cell phones were inexpensive, so I didn't have one. Just told my parents I was going camping and where. Great, so they'll just find my grisly remnants tomorrow morning after I don't come home. Sweating buckets and running out of wood. Fire dying. Contemplating running for it, but the woodsman in me won't leave the fire. It was too dry out there. Then suddenly, I hear a deep, echoing bark from kind of far off. The thing circling me stops for a second. Long pause and then another bark. Closer. And the thing takes off in the direction away from me and the bark. An enormous fluffy white dog comes trotting out of the tree line. Super friendly. Has a collar on that says Snowman. Snowman and I chill out for a few hours. Only once he turns his head, perks his ear and growls, half barks, then goes back to normal. Feel totally safe with Snowman here. Eventually fall asleep with the big lug next to me. Hot as hell, but who gives a rat's ass? Next morning, Snowman is gone. Feared he went home after the thing buggered off for good. Go home and scrape the brake dust out of my boxers. The next day. Talking to the property owner. Tell him of that night. Confirm no cows were out there. Mention Snowman. He looks at me like I'm an asshole. Snowman was my dog. He was killed by a car last year. I what hard? And tell him I was serious. Snowman was real. I petted him and got covered in his white fur and everything, and he saved my skin from whatever out there wanted my nutsack for a coin purse. He doesn't believe me until I dig out the shirt from the wash and show him the hair all over it. He says it looks just like Snowman's. Every now and then I hear a bark off in the distance while camping, and I feel warm inside.